the distinction and the difference between those who stick and stay and those who just disappear is the ones who understand what they're actually signing up for.
This is The Deep Dive with Adam Roa.
No one else is going to do it for you. So if you have something on your heart that you want to create or offer, or if you're in a space of necessity where you're like, I have to figure out a way to make money, then you get to be in the evaluation of what your gifts are that you have to offer, and in the actual ownership of no one's going to do it for you. You get up every day and make it happen. The thing is that most people have never actually pursued their soul's calling in their entire life. And so they don't realize how much energy and excitement and motivation comes from waking up each day knowing that you get to work on something that lights up your soul.
Yes.
People make they equate it to getting up and going to a job that they hate. And they're like, oh, but I got to start a whole new business in this thing. And there's this, it's not the same thing. So the starting point for me is always like, what is that thing that's lighting your soul up? Yep. What is that thing? And if you don't know what that is, then what an opportunity you have right now with all of this extra time and disruption of your normal routines to have a pattern interrupt to your life, to take a moment and say, what actually lights me up? Yeah. What actually lights me up? And then from there, going and doing it. I know that you're one of the hardest working people that I know. 100%. So everything you have, the ability to impact the way that you do, that's not an accident. Mm-mm. You've been putting out videos online on YouTube before people were watching them, like, for 10 years now.
Yep.
And so, and that's the thing. People think that, like, this idea of an overnight success, this thing that happens, whatever. I don't know any. I've never met any. I legitimately, even the people who said, I had no idea until your poem went viral. I found your poem and all this stuff happened. And the people around me were like, it's so crazy. The girl I was dating at the time said, it was so crazy to see everything just like blow up overnight. And I said, overnight? I was like, I've been putting out coaching videos and doing Facebook Lives and building this business for 5 years before that poem ever went viral. Before the poem went viral, I toured internationally on my own dime, my poetry. Like, there can be these milestones, but those milestones are birthed out of the soil that you have tended to for however long you've needed to tend to it. And I think that's really important, because this is a time where people need to know that. People need to know how hard you work, bro. People need to understand how hard I work, how hard, if you're looking up to people, we're here, we have this platform where people are listening to us. Well, let's be real about that, because I want to get away from this idea that it's just going to magically fall into people's laps because they became a match to it. You get to create the funnel by which the universe can give it to you. So I've been speaking for a moment. I'm going to speak of one more thing. If you wanted $1 million, and you're like, I'm just becoming a match to it, I'm just going to manifest it, I believe that can happen. And I also believe that you get to at least buy a lottery ticket. At the very least. You get to at least put up a website so a client could find you magically out of nowhere. Even if you're not going to do marketing, you get to create the funnel so that the universe can actually give you what you're asking for. Because if you want $1 million and you don't even buy a lottery ticket, the universe is like, okay, how do I manage to move all the things around so that they can trip over a bag of $1 million? Think of all the things that have to happen for that to go that way. So that's the last thing I want to say on that.
No, man, you nailed it. I think about this story Chris Rock tells about when he first moved to LA, and he was trying to make it. He said he had this beat up car and it would break down on him every couple weeks. And he said, the first, few months of him being in LA, every time it would break down, he would just sit on the side of the road, and wait for somebody to come get him. He said nobody would stop. And he's like, yo, people in LA are rude. You know how people make up stories about LA? Just bullshit, but whole nother conversation. So he said that he figured out, on like the fourth time, he got out of his car and he was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll do it myself. And he opened the door and he held the steering wheel and he started to push. And the moment he started to push, cars would just pull over and people would run out and help him push as well. And that, to me, is the encapsulation of what you just said. Like, the moment you get out and you start to push just a little bit, right? We get that snowball effect where the universe understands that you mean business and that this isn't just more hot air pushed out of your mouth. And I'll tell you guys this, the easiest part about all of this is the beginning, the newness, the excitement. You know, I've seen coaches come and go. I've seen healers come and go. I've seen all kinds of people come and go over the last 10 years. And the distinction and the difference between those who stick and stay and those who just disappear is the ones who understand what they're actually signing up for. Like, so many people come into my coaching space and they're like, oh, I want to create a group and I want to retreat and I want to run Vipassanas and I want to run 12 million things all at the exact same time. 4 people that follow me and I've had 1 client ever in my whole life. And I'm like, stop. You're trying to beat Jay Shetty in the very beginning. You're trying to be Tony Robbins the first day you walk up to the school. That is the stupidest idea you possibly can. The reason why Tony can do that is because he stuck to one thing. Everybody I've ever met who's been deeply successful plays that game. And I would highly suggest that you understand what you're signing up for and jump before you're ready.